everyone, my name is Monica. Today I'm going to show you how to stir fry this delicious garlicky stir fry tofu with garlic sprouts. Without any further ado, let's get started. Now let's prepare the ingredients. The first ingredient that you need are 4 pieces of firm tofu, which is about 900 grams. So I've got these firm ones and not the soft and the silky type, because we want it to hold its shape when it is cooking. So the way to cut this tofu is just to cut it into half first. Cut it into half like so, and then turn it 90 degrees, cut it another half. So each half we cut into 3 pieces, so that it is approximately even, so that the frying time will be about the same time. So we will then put all these in the common pool, and that would be for the tofu. So the next ingredient that we want to talk about is this thing called the garlic sprout. The garlic sprout that looks something like this. I've got it from the local supermarket. You can see that this one here, it says garlic sprout. It comes in a bunch like that. And this garlic sprout, I think not many people use it to cook their dishes. But it is actually very delicious if it is cooked properly. It is actually grown from the stalk. It's actually the stalk of the garlic bulbs. They have this lovely mild garlic flavor with a hint of sweetness. It is almost like the asparagus in terms of texture. It's like eating asparagus. And what do the people normally do with this? It is good for grilling, like a barbecue. It's like a side dish. For most stir fries, soups, and pesto, etc. So you've got many uses for this garlic sprout. So what is important is that it has that lovely garlic flavor. So for garlic lovers, this will be a perfect addition to your dishes. So there are many other names given to this. Sometimes it's called garlic scapes, sometimes it's called garlic chives, but in my local supermarket it's called garlic sprout. So maybe you can have a look at the Asian section or Asian section of your supermarket. You might just be able to find it. And how do we prepare this? So what we need to do is to wash it first. The first part of it is a bit fibrous, just like asparagus. You just need to cut the first part, and discard the first part. Then the rest of it, you might just want to cut it into something like 3 inches, 3-inch battens, like so. 3-inch battens, like that. About 3 inches. It doesn't matter, a bit longer or shorter. And then you will just add all these into those that I have already cut. So that's how you prepare your garlic sprout. Then what other things do we need? We need prawns. So this prawns or shrimp, you might call it, is 200 grams. It can be fresh shrimp or it can be frozen. So to save time, I have used the frozen type. It doesn't make much change. Of course, the fresh one is more, is more delicious. But you don't have time, the frozen one will do. Then we need minced garlic. Minced garlic. So we have got 3 cloves of minced garlic. Like this. 3 cloves of them. And the last ingredient is supposed to be very important, is the marinade. The sauce that you're going to pour into your stir fry. So the thing that I have inside this bowl is called the fermented tofu. It has this reddish color. It comes in cubes like that, different packaging. So the one that I bought from my local supermarket looks something like this. Looks something like this. So it's called Shanghai red bean curd. So it is wrapped in a plastic in little cubes with a little bit of red gravy. Sometimes people use this red gravy as a natural color for char siu, for making char siu. it is very delicious, yeah, as it lends an umami flavor to anything that you add to it, yeah. There are different names given to it. If you see that you can't find the red bean curd, you might just want to look at preserved bean curd or wet bean curd, you know, or in Chinese they call lam yu, yeah. The texture is almost cheese-like, yeah, so it's almost like cheese like that. You can see, yeah, it's almost cheese-like, yeah, and it is normally used in condiments, yeah, as condiments, dipping sauce, and it is a great ingredient in almost anything or any dish that you cooked, yeah. It really gives it a more depth into the dish, yeah. The taste is salty, so you don't put too much on it. It has it's subtly sweet and almost cheesy. Some people say that it almost tastes like cheese, yeah, with a little bit more salt in it, yeah, a little bit more salty than the normal cheese. So what you need to do to make the sauce is that you will crush this bean curd, and after crushing, you will add 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, yeah. So oyster sauce goes in, 2 tablespoons, like that. Then you have 1 tablespoon of sugar, yeah, so you need this sugar to balance the salty taste, yeah. So 1 tablespoon of sugar, and the last thing you want to add is 1 cup of water to dissolve all the ingredients, maybe about 2/3 cup, yeah, I think will do. So what you need to do then is to pour the sauce while you're cooking, yeah, and then let the tofu absorb this sauce, yeah. So later we will show you how this is done, yeah. So the prep is done, yeah. So let's go over and find out how to make how to cook this dish. Now we are ready to fry the tofu. So make sure the pan is hot, really hot, yeah, and the tofu must be dry. So you pat it dry so that there's no sputtering, yeah. So this tofu must be pat dry. So we will just add a little bit of oil first, and make sure that the oil is nice and hot before you put the tofu in, otherwise it will get stuck, yeah. So it's about 3 tablespoons or so of oil. And I like to swirl it, yeah, so that every part of the pan is covered with oil, yeah, so we do not want a sticky tofu, yeah. So we wait for a while for the oil to come to the temperature that is really hot for frying, yeah. So ideally what we want to do is to sear the outside of the tofu pieces so that it brings out the aroma of the tofu, but at the same time we do not want it to be too hard or too over fried, because then it won't be able to absorb, yeah, the gravy that we have prepared. So we just want a light browning outside, and that's it, yeah. Or this browning will prevent it from falling apart, yeah, during the braising process. So you drop the tofu pieces in like so, and we can do this in batches, yeah. So maybe I will do half first. We try not to overcrowd the pan, otherwise it will stick, yeah. The temperature drops and then it will stick. So I will just try to put maybe 1/3 of it first. Let's see how it goes. I might just be able to have a little bit more, yeah, because my pan is very, very hot. Yeah, just like that. Okay, a few more pieces here and there. Okay, so I think I managed to get half of it in. So this will be the first batch. And I like to swirl it so that every part of it will get the oil, yeah? So that's how it goes. We wait for a few minutes until one side of it turns light brown. We do not want it to be very brown, yeah? Just light brown will do. Okay, looks like we can turn it, yeah. So we'll see the color, this is exactly what I'm aiming at, yeah. Okay, so it's just like brown, yeah. Beautiful, yeah, beautiful. And I use this kind of Chinese ladle because it is acting like a spatula, and it makes it very easy to turn fried food. So we'll have this in like that. So it's yellowish, golden brown, yeah. There you go. So one side is already light brown. So now I'm browning the other side. It only takes about a couple of minutes, yeah, it doesn't take too long. And we will take this out, and I'll continue frying the second batch, and I'll see you later. Now this is how it looks like after all the frying, and now we are ready to go to the second part of the cooking process. So the first thing you want to do is to fry your garlic, yeah. So just drop your 3 cloves of garlic in, yeah. Just give it a gentle stir fry. I think my ladle is giving out too much noise, producing too much noise, so I changed it to a wooden ladle. Yeah, it's much better, right? Yeah, so now you can see that the aroma of the garlic is released. So when you can smell it, that means it's time for you to put in your prawns. Yeah, so I've got my prawns in, the 200 grams of prawns. Yeah, so it goes in like so. Just give it a quick stir, like this, on high heat. And then you will put back your tofu, yeah, your lightly brown tofu. Yeah, just drop it in. Yeah, drop it in. And then you will want to give your marinade, yeah, the sauce, a stir, and then pour over it. Yeah, just pour all over it like that. Yeah. So you can see that it has a lovely gravy that you can just it will be absorbed by the tofu during the cooking process. So we will just leave it like that for about 5 minutes covered. Yeah, so I'm going to use the wok cover to cover this, yeah, so that it will gently braise the tofu. Yeah, so I go and get a cover, and we'll just cover it, yeah, for about 5 minutes. Okay, let's have a look and see how it looks like. Yeah, so it's almost dry, but there's still some gravy in it. That's what we are trying to achieve. So the last ingredient that goes in is this garlic sprout. Yeah, so we'll drop all these garlic sprout in. And we do not want to overcook this garlic sprout. So all we want to do is just give it a few toss, yeah, like this. Because when it's overcooked, what happens is that it will look a bit yellowish and limp, yeah. So we just still want to maintain the crunch, yeah. And also we want the color to be a vibrant emerald green, yeah. So we will just maybe add a little bit of water if it is a bit too dry. So it really helps in the cooking process, yeah. So I just add a little bit, yeah, just about a 1/4 cup like that, yeah. So it helps with the cooking process, yeah. There's a bit of gravy if you want to have a little bit of gravy, because sometimes children like gravy in their rice or in their porridge. So you might just want to add a little bit of water, so there's a little bit of gravy underneath the tofu, yeah. So you just give it a quick stir. You can see that the color has become deeper green, yeah. So this is a sign that I think is almost cooked already, yeah. So I'm going to dish this up, yeah, and we will go to the table afterwards to see how it looks like, yeah, after plating. So we'll just dish this out like that. There you have it, guys. A delicious stir-fried tofu with garlic sprout. It is best eaten with rice or congee, or sometimes people call it porridge here. Hope you will find this an opportunity to give this dish a go. If you like my home cooked recipes, you might just want to consider subscribing to my channel so that you will not miss out on the new videos that I will be putting up soon. Till we meet again in another video, bye bye for now.